American Songwriter Song Contest winner, Taylor Fagins. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's so good to be speaking with you today and meeting you. This is the first time we've met, but I'm so
Yeah.
excited to talk with you today about your story and about your song and about this contest and all of these cool things for the folks out there.
Yeah, I'm so excited too.
Yeah. All right. We got more people coming in. And just so everyone knows, the American Songwriter Song Contest for 2021 opens on June 1st. And so that's coming up if folks want to read about that. But today, we're here to talk to you, Taylor, about We Need More and kind of your journey as a songwriter and coming to the moment right now that everyone's tuning into. And
Yeah.
so I'm so excited. And just to give you a bit of an overview, I think I want to start with talking about your story. And I think that we got more and more people coming in. So let's go ahead and start. I want to ask about when you first got into music. When did you first kind of start considering yourself a performer? I read that it all kind of started with a Celine Dion impression. Is that or impression? Is that true?
Yeah, when I was about 9 or 10 years old, I sang a lot in the shower, and one of the songs I used to listen to was "The Prayer" by Celine, the one that was covered by Celine Dion. And so I remember telling my mom, like, I really want to sing this, like, for the family. Like, this song would be really cool. And so around then is when my mom was like, "Oh no, you can like really sing." Me assuming I was just yeah, like I was just doing an impression like I assumed that I was just trying to act, but she found out that I could really sing, and that's when I guess I realized that, oh, okay, I guess music is a thing I can do.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. When did you kind of start writing songs?
I started writing songs around I want to say high school? Yeah, high school senior year is when I started writing songs. It was kind of my version of journaling. A lot of teenagers had journals and diaries, but I wrote music instead. It seemed more interesting to me. Yeah, and then I really started getting into, putting down my feelings into songs around freshman year of college.
Yeah, wow. And so I know that you've spoken on record before about really kind of struggling and having moments of depression and having self doubt at times. And I know that songwriting has been a really valuable tool for you during that process. What can you tell us about that element of songwriting and what the power it has for you?
Yeah, I used songwriting a lot in college when I started struggling with depression. Um, I know that whenever I was struggling with depression or whenever I was feeling, feelings of doubt or existentialism and stuff like that, I really, really didn't understand why. I couldn't find the reasons for why I was feeling these things. And to me, it really felt like this just big dark cloud of like anger and sadness and meaninglessness. Um, so whenever I felt that way, I think there was one significant moment I remember. I was at my dorm room alone, and I just started to sing out loud. I was singing anything that was coming to my mind and any feeling I had, and it became a song. And that song, which I've talked about before in the magazine, is a song called "Watch Me." But yeah, that was my feelings became clearer when I sang them out loud. Like it's almost like music itself and songwriting itself created a path in an otherwise really dark and confusing cloud of thoughts, you know? Um, so that was kind of the power of songwriting for me. It made me realize, oh, like when I write these things, when I put them down, when I journal for, for all its intents and purposes, whenever I journal in my own way, it actually makes it easier for me to understand like what I'm going through and why I'm going through this and maybe how I can get to the other side.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And in that regard too, I mean, how does
Mhm.
it feel to be able to have that outlet and then be able to share it with other people?
It honestly it makes me really happy because at first it's scary if I'm going to be honest. When I was younger, it was always scary for me to share whatever I wrote. Um but the older I get and the more I share what I write and how I feel really through what I write, I realize there are a lot more people in the world who feel the same. And so it makes it a lot easier for me to want to share. And it gives me a lot of joy knowing that somebody else is going, you see me, like somebody sees me through the song that you wrote, Taylor. And that's really cool to me. So yeah, every time I share my own music, every time I like, you know, write a song and make a video about it or record a voice memo and send it to somebody, it just gives me a lot of joy and it makes me it just I don't know. I really have no words past joy. Just because it's cool to see people, you know, their hearts open and their lives changed from me just sharing how I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And in that regard, it kind of illustrates how, even in like a day where technology is all so kind of isolated at times, music can still be such a powerful connector and such a powerful uniting tool. That's so
Mhm.
cool. And so that actually bridges into something else I wanted to ask you about, which is that your songs are so unique and extraordinary in that they kind of comment on wider society-wide or political themes and things that are happening in our world today. But at the same time, they also bring with it the lens of that personal connection, creating this really cool kind of blend of being able to see the firsthand experience of some of these things. What can you
Mhm.
tell us about that element of your songwriting and why you kind of wanted to include that in your craft, and maybe what the power of music is on that level as like a tool?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think a lot about this because um I usually don't know how to approach like what's it called? Like political conversations and like big social justice issues. I struggle with that a lot. Um but I think when specifically when it came to, you know, like a song like We Need More, and writing that song and knowing that it really is a response to such a huge social like injustice happening in the world. The only way I thought to approach it was the way I did when I was a kid. Like, how do you feel, Taylor? Like, how do you feel about this thing that's happening in the world? How do you feel about what's possibly happening to your siblings or to your parents, you know, or to your friends? Or how do you feel about what might happen to you if you step out the door and walk into the world? Um, and so kind of the process of like going at it from that angle is the only way like I think I can combine how I personally feel with anything social, with anything political is just going, Taylor, ask yourself the question and sing that, like write that, put that down on paper. And that's the song, you know? And that's the thing that people relate to because I think everybody's trying to figure out how they feel about these things. Everybody's trying to figure out, you know, their perspective. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think that's the best way that I can lend my voice. And that's the best way I can kind of connect the two is to start with how I feel about it. And then it kind of bridges the gap on its own, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, that definitely sheds light too on how you're able to have music that does feel so authentic and does resonate
Mhm.
so strongly in the hearts of the people who hear it. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. Well, on that note, you kind of bridged onto it, but I wanted to ask you specifically about "We Need More" and kind of the origins
Mhm.
of this song. What can you tell us about it? When did you write it? What was it kind of like as it grew as a song?
Yeah, so I wrote it, and now the specific date is slipping me. I used to know it like the back of my hand, but I wrote it, I want to say about a week, maybe a couple days after George Floyd was killed, and I do remember it was a Wednesday morning, waking up, and it had been a couple days. Like I said, I hadn't really said anything on social media. I think it had been the first time that I had not said anything about any social issues on social media. And so my phone was pretty much like away for the most part. And I woke up that morning and I started looking at social media again for the first time and seeing people say things, like say really profound things that were touching my heart. And I said, I have to say something. I don't know what it is and I don't know how I feel, but I have to say something. Um, and so the kind of the process behind it was like I said before, I asked myself that question: How do you feel, Taylor? What's happening? and the words of the song truthfully just fell out of my mind, fell out of my heart, fell out of my mouth. And as I do, I write music very outwardly. So I'll turn on my phone, I'll record a voice memo, and then I just kind of talk or sing, and it just kind of happens. Um, and so off of stream of consciousness, I started writing, the lyric, little black boys don't what, like, and I just started writing these things out loud, and singing about Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor, and I just kept going and I kept going, and then at one point I stopped, and I remembered the phrase which I said before, little black boys don't dot dot dot, which was something that my mother had said a long time ago to me when talking about my little brother. Um, she was it was a story. It's a story that has nothing to do with how I wrote the song, but she was mad at him and she just said little boys don't do that. And I was like, that's mom, you can't get mad at Memphis for that. That's my little brother. And but that phrase stuck with me, little boys don't blank. And so in this song, little black boys don't run outside or don't dot 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 is like what stuck with me. And it was about fear. And I said, that's the song. That's how I feel. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of walking outside. I'm afraid of doing this, doing that, doing normal everyday things. And then I sat at my piano and I played the song. And I think it was like about 30 minutes to an hour that I had finished it. And I called my girlfriend. And I was like, hey, tell me if you like this song. And I sang it for her. And she was like, I love this song. This is so good. This is everything I'm feeling. And that's how I knew it was right. She said it was everything I'm feeling. And I said, okay, this is the song. This is it. I guess I'm gonna share this. And I recorded a video and I sang the song and I put it on Facebook and it kind of just took off from there.
Wow, absolutely. Well, I've done a lot of interviews, and that's probably one of the best encapsulations of the power of songwriting I've ever heard, both in terms of like how it can resonate with others, how somebody can hear it and go, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I'm feeling, but also in terms of how it can even let you know what you're feeling. And you can
Yeah.
write something and go, oh gosh, I guess I didn't know that was in there, but that is what was in there. That's
Mhm.
amazing. It's such a cool channel for the inside. Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, now kind of bringing that forward through the story, when did you first hear about the American Songwriter Song Contest and what made you want to enter the song in it?
Yeah. So I was on Facebook. It's a pretty funny story. I was on Facebook just scrolling by, I think it had been a couple days since my song had come out on, on YouTube. And I remember seeing an advertisement. It was, I want to say, Ziggy Marley's advertisement for the American Songwriter contest, and I saw him doing the video, and it was really fun. It was really cool because I love him. So I was like, "Oh, this is great! Like this sounds like a fun thing to do." And so I clicked the video and I clicked the link and I signed up and I said, "I'm just gonna throw my song in there. We need more. I think it's like a cool song, and maybe they like it. I don't know." And to be completely honest, I forgot about it. I forgot about the contest. And my brain just, it's like it never happened. And I moved on. I like moved on with my life. And, I kept writing other songs and going to my job and just doing things in New York. And then one day, I remember getting a phone call really early in the morning, because Nashville time and New York time are very different. So really early in the morning, it was like, hey, sorry to wake you up, but I just want to know, like, is this Taylor Fagins? And I said, yes. And um, they were like, yeah, I hope this is good news. I just want to let you know you won the American Songwriter contest. And I was like, oh, what? What? Like I didn't remember. I was like, what contest is this? And then I said, oh, the contest. Like it all came back in a flood. But yeah, it was so funny. The process of signing up was so different than like my reaction to winning, because I signed up like I was just sending an email, and I was like, this would be something fun and cool to do. And then finding out I won was, whoa, okay, this is happening like right now. It was pretty funny. It was actually pretty hilarious.
Yeah, I have to agree, that is hilarious. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Wow,
Yeah.
wow. That's such a cool moment, but it's also such a cool opportunity too that your song was able to find that home and all of that.
Yeah.
What has it been like since then? What has it been like? Kind of, I know that the part of the prize package was a guitar, doing the feature with the magazine, getting a consultation, $10,000. What has all of that
Mhm.
been like? What have you been able to do?
It's been amazing. I'm actually after that experience of winning, I was able to with the rewards, I was able to like use the $10,000 to help me personally help fund my education. So I'm going to Berkeley, um, NYC College of Music.
Right
I'm
on.
going to grad school basically for a master's in writing. So I'm really excited to do that. And that was really that's something I'd only dreamed about doing. And the minute I got the prize money, I was like, I can actually do this now. Like, so it made me really, really happy. And then the guitar, I don't know how to play the guitar. I only play the piano. So I was really like, this is a really cool guitar that I don't know how to play. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn how to play the guitar. And in the meantime, I actually took it to my friend Paul, who helped me produce the music video for We Need More. And he's a part of Paul Chang Productions. He has his own company. And I went to him and I said, hey, man, like he's really good at playing guitars and he loves guitars. And I said, you know what? This is yours. And he like laughed and he was like, no way. And I was like, yeah, like you're my best friend. Like you helped me do this. This is for you. And so we hang out all the time. He lives in New York and he'll bring out the guitar every now and then and be like, and play it. It's so funny. But yeah, so I passed that down to him, but it's such a beautiful guitar. And I always go to his house just to look at it. And yeah, with the consultations, I met with music publisher, I met with a music label, and it was really cool talking to them and getting advice on how to like further my career as a singer songwriter. And they were like, yeah, like make as much music as you can, record as much stuff as you can, and like put it out there. And they gave me a lot of encouragement, a lot of advice. And I'm still in contact with them, so that's been really awesome. And yeah, seeing the feature in the magazine was just it was amazing to be able to share my story and like really get it out there. It's honestly been really fun. This whole experience, connecting with people and sharing where I've come from and how I got here and what I'm doing next. So that's kind of been my whole experience with this thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's so amazing to hear. And on that note, I'm curious, have you been writing at all? Is there anything on the horizon that you can kind of plug for us?
Yeah, so I have been writing. I am currently working on multiple albums, I'll say. I don't want to just say one, but I am working on this anthology of music, basically every song I've ever written. And
Right on.
there isn't a title for it, but definitely I would say for anybody, like definitely keep your eyes peeled because there's gonna be a lot of music coming out in the next probably like year or two, really.
Wow, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. And I'm sure, I mean, just getting all this opportunity and be able to meet with those people and to have all of that. I mean, I'm sure it's been a really a validating experience. Yeah.
Yeah, it has been. It's been amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I have one last question for you today, and I'm imagining that I probably already know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyways. And that is, do you recommend others to enter the song contest?
Yes, definitely. I think this is what I'm going to say to that. Obviously, the big capital letters, yes. And also, really, for anyone considering entering the contest, you have to put your work out there. You have to put your art and your heart and your feelings out there in the world because I listen to so many artists, I listen to so much music, and every time I listen to an artist, I wonder what would the world be like if this music wasn't out here? It it wouldn't be as good as it is now. And I think anything we have to say, any art we create is going to touch somebody's heart. It's going to bring us one step closer to like healing the world and just being better people, really. And yeah, you got to sign up for this contest because it changed my life, and I really do believe it could change anybody's life. Just got to take the step. You can do it.
Yeah, well, on that note, I mean, you make a great point too that it's about putting yourself out there. And I'm sure that you've
Yeah.
had moments in your career where it's been scary at times to be as vulnerable as you've been, but it's really worked out, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it really has. It's been amazing, and Yeah, every time I get an opportunity to put myself out there, I never regret it. I never regret it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Taylor Fagins, for taking some time out of your day and speaking with us. And thank you, everyone who's tuned in and watched this so far. The 2021 Song Contest opens on June 1st, and that's when we're going to be announcing the prizes and the judges and all of that good stuff. So please keep your eyes peeled. And also, please go check out We Need More, Taylor's song. It's an amazing song, and we're just so honored that we got to play a part in kind of sharing it with our readers and with the world. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you so much for tuning in. And thanks everyone for tuning in. And I hope everybody has a great day and a great weekend and great everything. All right.
Bye.
Bye bye, everyone.